Gaal Dornick, it has been more than 300 years. You are looking well.
Hey there, all you robots and renegade clones. We've got another big breakdown for Foundation Season 3, Episodes 4 and 5. And this time, it's all about the revenge of the baddest robot of all time, Demerzel. So we're going to be covering Foundation Episode 4, The Stress of Her Regard, and Episode 5, Where Tyrants Spend Eternity. And we're going to talk about the massive twist at the start of Episode 4 and the end of Episode 5. Welcome back, ScreenCrush. I'm Ryan Airy, and these are all the Easter eggs, references, and hidden details in Foundation Season 3, Episodes 4 and 5. Now, right off the bat, at the start of Episode 4, Foundation is dropping a super deep cut to Season 1, with the revelation that Demerzel herself orchestrated the terrorist attack that brought down the starbridge. Now this references Season 1, Episode 1, in which Anacreon and Thespis attacked the starbridge on Trantor itself, and that prompted Cleon the 12th to punish both worlds extensively.
But why would she do that? Just to force the Cleons to do something?
Exactly. In another one of her confessions, which started back in Episode 1 of this season, Demerzel explains that she did this for Foundation, which means that she is personally taking credit for preventing Harry Seldon from not getting executed by the Cleons way back when all this started.
But why would she do that?
Well, Demerzel is playing a very long game, as these two episodes reveal. But there are other big revelations going on in Episode 4. First, we learn that Han Pritchard works for the Second Foundation while pretending to work for the First Foundation. We also learn in Episode 4 that he's getting cozy with Gaal and has for a year. During Gaal and Han's initial convo in Episode 4, there's also a nice Easter egg for Salvor in Season 1 with her quote, "Violence is the last refuge of the incompetent," one of the most iconic and immortal Foundation quotes of all time. Crucially, Gaal also reveals that even though her prescient powers have allowed her to see into the future, everything about the Mule seems to be blocking those powers, and she can't project herself beyond this exact present moment. Episode 4 also featured a deep cut Easter egg back to the dawn of the Cleons. Now we know from the Season 2 episode, Long Ago Not Far Away, that it was Cleon the First who really fell in love with Demerzel and programmed her to do what she now does, preserve the genetic line into infinity. But what we didn't know is that Cleon the First had to obtain certain tools from the mycogen sector on Trantor to make that happen. After the revelation in Episode 3 that there is a secret cult of robot worshippers called the Inheritance, Brother Day is headed to mycogen to find his girlfriend Song, whose memories were erased by Demerzel, and he steals one of Demerzel's ancient robot tools before he leaves. And speaking of ancient objects, Brother Dusk, played by Terrence Mann, reveals his version of the Prime Radiant, the fancy Harry Seldon future math map, to Foundation Ambassador Quint, played by Cherry Jones.
Hey, if she's the Foundation Ambassador, how come she's never seen the Prime Radiant? I thought the Prime Radiant was like the Foundation's whole deal.
Well, that's the strange thing about this Easter egg. The original Prime Radiant still belongs to Gaal and the top secret Second Foundation. This copy of the Prime Radiant was given to Empire in Season 2 by the AI version of Harry Seldon for reasons that are still unclear.
But because Quint doesn't know about Second Foundation, she thinks this is the only Prime Radiant ever?
Exactly, and Episode 5 basically ends with two unlikely alliances between Empire and the Foundation. Dusk is teaming up with Quint, and Dawn teams up with Gaal. So this takes us to the very twisty 5th episode, Where Tyrants Spend Eternity. Right off the bat, Brother Day is disguised as First Claviger Mavon and heads to the mycogen sector, presumably to find Song. One thing you'll notice here is that the sector is filled with lots of organic pods and moisture, and that's because, as the previous episode mentioned, this is where Trantor's food is grown. Demerzel is hot on the trail of Day, who injected his Imperial nanites into Mavon. The fact that Day doesn't have these nanites anymore means that he is totally mortal now, a fact established back in Season 1 when we first met the Cleons. Demerzel notes that with Dawn off planet with Gaal and Day headed into mycogen, my Cleons are scattered. Arguably, this is a bit of an Easter egg for the two previous seasons.
Hey, why are the Cleons always acting out?
Well, considering they're all-powerful rulers, the various Cleons tend to go off the grid quite a bit. In Season 1, Brother Day went on a religious quest called Walking the Spiral, where he nearly died. In that same season, Brother Dawn tried to start a new life with a gardener who was trying to replace him with another clone for political reasons. In Season 2, a different Brother Dawn succeeded in getting off the planet with his lover, Queen Sereth, and also in that season, Brother Dusk tried to rebel against Demerzel by breaking into her secret room, which led, of course, to his death. A lot of this bad boy Cleon behavior can be attributed to the genetic drift among among the clones that started back in Season 1. And speaking of the Cleons, as Dawn escapes with Gaal on board the spaceship, the Beggar's Lament, which by the way was originally Hugo Craft's spaceship in Foundation Season 1, we see him recording a message to Dusk, in which he seems to be apologizing for something. It's only at the end of the episode that we learn what this apology was all about, in which Dawn speaks the title of the episode, Where Tyrants Spend Eternity. Gaal reveals several things to Dawn here, including that she has the ability to control people's minds, like the Mule, and also that she still has a frozen zygote of her daughter, Salvor Hardin, which was also born thanks to Gaal's frozen zygote in Season 1. Gaal also reveals her plan here, which is for Dawn to blackmail a member of the Galactic Council in order to trick them into forming an enclosure around Calgon with the Interior Fleet. The idea of the Imperial Fleet doing an enclosure has not gone well in the past. In Season 2, Cleon 17 tried this, and it backfired big time, resulting in a victory for Foundation.
Yeah, spoiler alert, same thing happens here.
That's right. While Gaal seems to want to use Empire to contain the Mule on Calgon, she actually wants Empire to lose its entire fleet in order to make Foundation stronger. Essentially, the entire episode is Dawn operating under the false pretense that if he blackmails his friend, Councilman Tarisk, and really pushes the Council to take the fleet to Calgon, the Mule will be stopped and that will be that. In pursuit of this plot, Dawn kills the mistress of Tarisk and gives an impassioned speech to the Council that Empire needs to undo the original sin, which was giving Harry Seldon a planet in the first place, which led to this entire mess. Now this is an Easter egg again for the very first episode of Season 1.
You will be allowed to refine your work on psychohistory, to build your foundation, but not on Trento. Terminus.
Which we now know was low-key orchestrated by Demerzel from the shadows. The Council reminds Dawn that, quote, enclosures have been outlawed since Cleon 17 lost his fleet over Terminus, which of course is again a reference to the finale of Foundation Season 2. Meanwhile, while all of this is happening, Beta and Tauren are taking refuge with Uncle Randu, a leader of the Traitors, a splinter faction of the Foundation that we've heard about since Episode 1 of Season 3, but not fully seen until now. Randu claims to be a direct descendant of Hober Mallow, that lovable scoundrel from Foundation Season 2.
But didn't Hober totally die over Terminus in Season 2?
Well, yes he did, but Randu says that Hober
disclaimed a lot of bastards,
but that he's basically Hober's grandson. One Easter egg here that seems to prove this is the castling bracelets which Hober used throughout Season 2 to switch places with people at crucial moments. But the biggest Easter egg in all of these scenes is the fact that Tauren, Randu, and Beta are fully aware that Magnifico's music is the thing that helped the Mule take over Calgon so easily. In fact, in order to help Beta convince Uncle Randu that she and Tauren can help him, he says,
I'll play a little. Maybe it'll help her.
Basically, the idea here is simple. The Traitors now have something the Foundation might want. The Mule's secret weapon, Magnifico. But the Mule doesn't entirely need his weapon at the end of this episode because, thanks to Gaal's manipulation of Brother Dawn, the entire Imperial fleet and Calgon are destroyed by something that the Mule calls a Cobalt Spike, or the Blue Death. Basically, the Mule uses Empire's jump gate to blow up Calgon, and the only reason the Empire is reliant on jump gates is because of Hober Mallow's alliance with the Spacers back in Season 2.
Alright, so the Mule didn't even want Calgon, it just wanted the jump gate. Alright.
That's right, and what's interesting about this is that Gaal wanted all of this to happen because she wanted Empire to be weak and Foundation to be strong in order to get the plan back on track. But what Gaal probably doesn't know is that Brother Dusk has a super weapon, and with Brother Dawn possibly stuck outside an airlock and Brother Day off the grid, Dusk is now in charge.
Or is he?
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, if we learned one thing, it's that the robot Demerzel is really in charge, right?
Well, that's a great point because the big twist at the end of the episode, and the best cliffhanger of the season so far, is that right when Gaal expects Brother Dawn to come back in through the airlock, she is confronted with Demerzel instead.
It has been more than 300 years. You are looking well.
So guys, let us know your theories. Is Demerzel there to join Gaal or destroy her? Does she know about the Second Foundation? Will Foundation and Empire really remain enemies? And is Brother Dawn dead? Or did he somehow survive that airlock? The future of Foundation is still unfolding, and there are 5 episodes left in Season 3. Let us know what you think is going to happen next down in the comments below. And big shout out to Ryan Britt who wrote this episode. You can find his links in the description. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe and smash that bell for alerts. For ScreenCrush, I'm Ryan Airy.